This is Big Papi Racing.
Hi guys, Jim aka Big Papi here. I need to apologize to everyone about the Diecast games and the way things are going down. We have 7 events done now. This will be the 7th that you're about to see. I'm going to shorten it with only the placing cars because it cuts down the time that it requires me to edit, and there's just, I have no time. Work has taken over my life. We've lost 7 people, families and friends in the last 13 months. COVID, old age, illness, just a myriad of stuff, and life right now is life's not wanting to do Hot Wheels. But anyway, I've obligated to do this, and I'm going to complete it. So I've got the roll done, and you'll see it here in a moment. I'm going to put up 2 films. One film is going to be an edited version with the standings and showing the top cars that score. The second version will be called just a raw data or raw film, and it'll be all of the cars from beginning to end with no commentary. So if you're interested to see where your car finished, then you can watch the movie through and see where it finished. There'll be stuff you hear me talking in the background, and my helper for these 2, and so there'll be a lot of stuff going on in the background with it where I silence it when I do the editing. I'm going to get, the next thing is the push and the slalom. I'll get those 2 done, and I'll put them up the same way. And the last event will be the fat track free-for-all, because all the cars get to participate in that, and it looks like we're going to have a pretty close contest for the finals. We are going to, with the fast track free-for-all, we are going to back the rankings out, and everyone will have a car in each bracket, and like the top 4 cars will be in 4 different brackets as we go into this, and we'll reverse them out and make all that work the best way we can make it work. I'm going to do my best to make sure that you don't have to face yourself within a bracket, or that the number 1 car doesn't race the number 2 car before we ever get to the finals. And it just for parity and my saneness, I just want to do it that way, because that's the way it ought to be done, fairly. I'm not sure about next year and the Diecast games. I just, there's so much going on in my life and with work right now. I covet your prayers. I'm just overwhelmed, and my wife has worked with me with this, and it's just been a rough 3-4 months lately, and I apologize for this. I had no idea the undertaking of this many teams. That was what everybody was asking me. Why in the world did you do so many teams? And I just didn't stop to think, because I haven't been thinking. I had the COVID November a year ago, and it affected me. It affected my brain function. It affected the way I think. Tasks that used to be simple for me are no longer simple. I have to think about doing them. And plus I turned 60, so I'm in a point in time where age is starting to play a factor too. But I appreciate all of you. I've still got all your cars, all your packages. My plan is to get the cars in the mail to you the week after Christmas. That's the plan, the week after Christmas. If something gets going and I can't get the free-for-all done until that week, then I'll get them to you the first week of January. But you will get your cars back, along with, I'm going to throw some extra castings in for everybody, because I'm actually selling down a little bit and not buying what I used to do. Used to buy the way I used to buy it, just because of the life changes that have happened over the last year, and a realization of where I need to really spend my time. God bless you all. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I just pray that the Lord will continue to bless our nation in spite of us. Thank you, guys. Here we are, getting ready for the roll. Remember, only the top 32 cars are going to be shown here. You can see the full-length movie with no narration. First up, here's Blue Line Racing. He's got the Matchbox Datsun 280Z. He's going to come down and stop at 14.12. Next up, RLO Racing. He's got a Mercedes and the Semi-Psycho. Here's the Mercedes. Down he rolls, and he rolls, and he rolls, and he is going to stop at 17.1. Next, the Semi-Psycho. Down he comes and rolls, and he is going to stop at 15.38. 15.38. Next up, Road Rage Racing. He's got the mid-drift. It's going to start out, and the mid-drift is going to roll. Looky here, 16.12, 16.12. Next up, Big Poppy. He's got a flat-out 4.42. The Big Poppy placard right there is 12 foot in the middle. In case you're wondering, he's going to get 14.82. Next up is Mr. Mom Bubba and his Charger. He's going to start down the alley. He's got his 12 foot. He's going to make 14.34. Next up is Dxp Racing and his Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet's going to roll and roll. 12 foot with the marker there. And here we 15 feet, 15.29. 15.29. Next up is JX4 Racing and his 33 wheelies. He's past the 12, 13, 14.03. 14.03. Next up is Wobbly Bob and WR Racing with the Jackhammer. Down the roll he goes. He's past the 12, and he's going to make 15.13 for the Jackhammer. Next up, Road Rage Racing 2 and the Mega Thrust. It's going to come down past the 12 and 13, 14.62. 14.62. Next up, Mr. Mom Joe, and he's got that Matchbox 97 Corvette. Starts down the track, got his 12. So the Corvette ends up 15.39. Next up, Po' Boy Racing and his Kia Stinger. Down we go. Rolling, rolling, rolling past the 12, 13, 14, 15, and 15.36. 15.36. Next up, Your Nightmare Racing. He's got the 67 Mustang. And then he's going to have a Mercedes. So here's the Mustang coming down. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16.44. We're going to put him down on the track. And here comes the Mercedes. Got his 12, 13, 14, 15. Just short. 15.74. Next up, Big Al's Custom Diecast. His Rescue Ranger is going to roll down. Make the 12, no problem. 13, and he's going 14.06. Next up, the League of Speed and his trim truck. Here he goes down the track. He is scooting. There's the 12, 13, 14, 15. Look here, past Your Nightmare, 17.59. 17.59 for the trim truck. Next up is going to be Scale Racing and his Mercedes E470. Down the track he goes. He's got the 12. He's got the 13, 13.75. 13.75. Next up, he's got another car, the Nissan 300ZX. Pardon my finger there. He's past his 12, 13, and he's going to end up, 15.22. 15.22. Next up, Red Pill Racing, front-running Fairmont. You know that car. They are legendary. There's past the 12. He's flying past it. Here he goes. Oh, he's past League of Speed. He's going to have the high car at the moment. Where's he going to stop? 20.96. Next up, he's got the Datsun 300ZX. He's going down, and he's going to get 15.16. Next up, we got Rivera Racing, and his Dodge Murata made the cut. Here he comes past the 12, 13, 14, 15. Look at here, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19.52 for Rivera Racing. Next up, Gen X Racing with his horseplay. So this fantasy version, down the track he goes, 12, 13, 14, 14.11, 14.11 for horseplay. Next up, Captain K Racing, his Honda Sprocket. Down the track, he's got the 12, no problem. So he's going to 13.98, 13.98. Next up, Overclock Racing, his Mercedes-Benz G500. Got the 12, no problem. 13, 14, 15, 15.89, 15.89. Next up, Mr. BFG, flat out 442. Look at him roll. 16, 17, 17.58, 17.58, Mr. BFG. His next car, the Datsun 280Z, the Z-Car. He's rolling, rolling, rolling. And he's going to end 16.57. Next up, Pepler Racing and the Titanium 1, something along those lines. He's got 15. He's got 16, 16.57. Next up, we've got Big Rami and their Dodge Murata. Starts down the track. Going to end up 15, 16, 16.54, 16.54. Next up, we've got the Lady of Speed. Guess what? She's got a trim truck. Here it comes. Past the 12. Past the 13. 14. 14.85. Next up, Mrs. BFG. She's got a Fairmont and the Datsun. Here's the Fairmont. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Past the 12. 13. 14. 15.7. 15.7. Next up, the Datsun 280Z. Roll down. Here we go. 15, 16, 17.14. Next up, Metal Mania 3D, the Aero Flash. Cool casting, older version. Here it is. 12, 13.83, 13.83. So here are your cars from first through 30 seconds. The points they scored are on the right side next to their distances. So you can see as it goes all the way down to 32nd, we had no ties. Then we'll start with the next group of cars, and we'll go all the way through from the furthest distance down to the least so that you can get a look. As I said, if you'd like to see the entire race, I'm also going to put up just what I'm going to call film footage of Event 7, and it will have the entire film footage uncut and put in there for you if you want to check your car out. I'm sorry, it's just we've talked about time and what this has done to me. So here we are, the cars, and that's the last one. Let's look at the casting standings. As you can see, after 7 events, it's got the cars laid in. That Red Pill Fairmont up in first place, down all the way to 73 points, and then we start there at 70 and go through those cars. This is through 7 events. I'll only show cars that have scored points. And we'll go down to 36, and then we jump in at 36 and start down. Looking all the way down to the bottom with Big Poppy's 442. Then we'll start again. Up at 22 points. Down to the bottom at 13 as they go. And then we'll do it again one more time. Actually, it's twice. This is going to carry us down to 4. As you look, and anything under 4 and under actually, is listed here. So that's the individual car standings up to date after Event 7. Here's the team standings. Your Nightmare Racing, just a hair lead over Red Pill with 3 events left. This is after 7. Goes down to the 102. Then we've got 87. And I'll, of course, show teams that have scored. Down to, I think we have maybe 40 that have scored at this point. Let's see. No, a few more than that. Down to 1 with Cut Rock. So that's where we stand right now, folks. We'll be in touch. We'll get the next event up as quickly as we can. Thank you so much.
This has been a Big Poppy Racing production.